Hello and welcome to Storytime with Red. I've always prided myself on being a devoted husband. Even before our marriage, I took it upon myself to handle all of my wife's financial matters while showing her the highest respect and care. One day, I decided to plan a getaway from Marina. After carefully considering our options, we chose Georgia as our destination, a country known for its beautiful monasteries, breathtaking coastline, and charming towns that truly showcase its culture. Marina decided to invite her friend along for the trip, and to make sure everything went smoothly, I borrowed some money, including a little extra for wine. Before she left, I made one request, that she bring back at least 3 bottles of wine, or even more if she could. It had become a tradition for us not only to drink wine, but to enjoy and savor it together. Marina smiled, promised to pick the finest wine, and waved it by as she set off with her friend. Throughout the trip, she kept me updated with photo after photo, each one capturing beautiful landscapes and unique architecture. She often expressed regret that I couldn't be there, captioning the photos with messages like, "It's such a shame you couldn't come," which tugged at my heart. Eagerly anticipating her return, I decided to prepare a surprise for Marina. I bought a new coffee table for our apartment, imagining her excitement when she saw it. Little did I know Marina had a surprise for me too, but not the kind I expected. The days passed quickly, and finally, it was time to pick Marina up from the station. As she and her friend stepped off the train, their sun-kissed faces lit up with joy. They eagerly shared how wonderful the trip had been. "You should have been there. It was incredible," Marina exclaimed, clearly thrilled. She even mentioned that they were already planning to return to the same hotel next year, praising its perfect location by the sea and the stunning views from the terrace. I nodded, making a mental note to suggest a place to Marina for our next trip, unaware of the other reasons she might have found it so appealing. After saying goodbye to her friend and her friend's husband, Marina and I headed home. My impatience grew, and I couldn't help but ask, "How's my wine?" She reassured me, saying, "Your wine is safe and sound, packed in a large suitcase in the trunk, just waiting for you to enjoy." Relieved and delighted, I could hardly wait to try it. While Marina rushed to the bathroom, I decided to open one bottle right away. I carefully unzipped the suitcase and found 4 bottles, each wrapped in cloth. 2 were cushioned in towels, 1 was snug in a scarf, and the last was bundled in a sweatshirt. I carefully took the bottles out, examining each one with curiosity. But as I did, something unexpected happened. A handful of cash slipped out of the sweatshirt pocket. Normally, I wouldn't have thought much of it, assuming it was just a few leftover bills from our trip. But the amount stunned me. It was far more than what someone would typically have after vacation. I counted the money, my heart pounding. It was nearly the same amount I had given Marina 2 weeks ago. She hadn't spent much during the trip, which made it look like she had used the cash I gave her just to buy this wine. They had spent half a month in a foreign country, yet somehow hadn't used up the funds. This unsettling thought wouldn't leave me. Reluctantly, I returned the money to the pocket, zipped up the suitcase, and tried to focus on enjoying the wine. I pushed away the troubling thoughts that crept in, but the next day at work, I couldn't concentrate. The image of the money falling from the pocket lingered in my mind. Unable to let it go, I decided to search online for the hotel where Marina and her friend had stayed. The hotel owner was quite active on social media, especially on a platform we both used. I found numerous photos of the hotel and its guests, but what stood out were the latest ones, prominently featuring Marina and her friend. In several photos, a man appeared alongside them, off with his arm around both women as they posed in different settings. Some by the beach, others at what looked like nightclubs, drinks scattered on the table. His captions were enthusiastic, highlighting his dedication to giving his guests a memorable vacation and showing off the local attractions. He seemed to pride himself on being a generous host. But something about the images made me uneasy. Marina had mentioned they spent their days by the sea or sightseeing, not in nightclubs. This revelation left me needing more than just her words. I quickly contacted Marina's friend, arranging to meet under the pretext of returning an item she had left behind. I took the opportunity to show her the photos I'd found. She hesitated, but didn't deny what I suspected for long. Eventually, She admitted that Marina had spent those 2 weeks not just with friend, but with man from Georgia. They had shared both their days and nights together. In light of this revelation, I realized Marina had likely used the money I gave her for their shared expenses. Feeling betrayed, I confronted her and asked her to leave, unable to bear seeing her again. All the effort I had put into our relationship felt meaningless after this betrayal. I couldn't help but wonder if this had happened before, or if it would have become a regular occurrence. That night, I barely slept. Instead, I spent hours leaving honest reviews on the hotel's page, recounting what had unfolded without embellishment. I warned other men not to leave their wives unaccompanied on such trips, adding a note of caution about unexpected surprises awaiting them if they did.